Welcome to Diverse Orange, our conversation about diversity here in Central Florida. My guest today is a leader from the African community, Yves Bouele. Welcome, Yves.
Thank you. Hello, Terry.
So, Yves, let's start with where do you come from?
I'm from Cameroon, originally in West Africa, Cameroon, from the Douala people.
Okay, and what brought you to the United States?
I came to the United States to study. Came to the United States to study, yeah.
Came to study and you stayed.
And I stayed. Yes.
And how long have you been in Central Florida? Because I don't
Oh,
think
it's
you've been.
actually easy. Yeah, 2003, 2020. So, yeah, 20 years.
Yeah, great. But that's not where you first came to study, is it?
No, I was in South Carolina. And my
Okay.
first spring, we went to spring break. And I was like, oh, wow, you didn't realize there was a place like home in the US, not cold, warm in the spring. And I knew where to come after I graduated. No, but I went to school in South Carolina, Allen University.
And then you came to Orlando because it was more like home?
Yes,
All
more
right.
better at the time.
Well, I'm sure it's also very different than at home. In
Yes,
what ways is it the same weather-wise? I understand, but in what ways has life here been different?
in what ways it's been different? Of course, the language. Um, I come from Cameroon, from the French speaking, right? So, but how it's been different? I actually found more similarities than differences. Uh, I was being different. It's just that my immediate family was not close to me, like I would expect when you go to a foreign country. But other than that, I've been feeling at home really once I
Great.
start to meet people. Yes,
And you have found other African immigrant community here as well, right?
yes, yes, yes. In fact, what I found was that Central Florida or even Orlando has a program to receive a lot of refugees communities. So I was meeting some other African communities and didn't realize that they came to the refugee program. So that was one thing. But I will say our point of conversion usually was this African store, and at the time it was right there on Church Street. It's 3 miles today on Colonial, but we will converge there because we will see, we'll visit downtown Orlando, we'll see this African store, and we'll stop by there. And all of us was kind of going through there. So that was our point of conversion usually. I met a lot of African immigrants to that spot.
And um, how do you fit in with the rest of the community, and especially the African American community?
How do I fit in? Uh, well, surprisingly, when I'm naturally fitting in with them, with that community, because when I came to the US, uh, usually one semester later, all the money that I brought, there were millions of dollars in francs here, millions of francs coming here. There were few thousands, so it runs out quick in one semester. And a family, an African American community family hosted me, took me in right away. They liked my vibe, the fact that I like to share my culture even back then. That's all I knew. So they offered me a place to stay, and I pretty much grew up in the community. Went to Allen University. So within the African American community, I you know I feel at home, and usually I understand some of the nuance that they have, which is they have a culture which is at first value it looks like it's different, but when we get to converse, we realize that we like a lot, things, the way we season our food, the way we approach things. So no, with the African American community, I just happened to have to realize that we won.
Great. And how about the broader community?
Wow, I was trying to lead you there, and you took me there. The broader community is really the community I want to belong to. Um, Traveling, I didn't realize what it was, but when I came to America, I was actually hosted by what we would call a white family, right? So after that was my first family. I was at home. They found me a place. They showed me how to go to university. Start going by myself. I realized that whatever I took of authentic from Africa, everybody could relate to it. The broader community is linked by love, genuine love of each other. And that's how we build our communities back home. The best way to doing it is knowing that there is there is God who brought us here, who made us, each one is in our place. So when I use that, when I tap into that, that upbringing for me, that helped me to relate with every community. So that's why I kind of made it my mission, because that's what kept me going. It kept me sane in America. So yes.
Well, that makes sense because you're one of the instigators and founders of Fusion Fest, which is all about bringing all of our various heritages together. Have you found any resistance to that?
No,
Great.
no, not resistance. And first of all, I want to thank you, Terry, for being a catalyst to this. This kind of ideas. Came to you, and many people have come to you before, and God placed a brother in our community in you, and a father to understand the value in that. No, and it's been growing, and even during the pandemic, the organization found a way to make it going. People appreciate it. Resistance, not that I know of. People wants to see more and know more. So there is some critics on how to do it better, but no resistance at all, not I know of. And even though we hear talking about diversity, some people feel like the community may not receive a diverse cultural display, but they're not sure. No, they're keeping it on the wrap. Otherwise, those who are speaking are, they're enthused about it.
Great. Well, there have been some public not loving things in our community lately, but I'm
Yes,
glad that not many people get to experience that. Because that is
that's
not
true. That's true. Again, I thought I was talking about Fusion Fest itself, but in general, yeah, some people want to do it, but when it came to our organized display of culture, people have received it, kindly. That's my experience.
great. Well, what is so you have this welcoming community here in Central Florida. What is missing? Is there something from back home that you would like to have here that isn't?
What is missing? Wow. Uh, I don't. If you know me, I'm very no. I'm not sure I would take it that way. That what is missing, but what can we do together? Or focus on. That's what I would like to answer. So I
Great.
don't think. Yeah. I think what we should do together is making sure. I'm not going to compare it to back home per se, and I could, but I want to compare it to other communities in the US, like New York, Chicago, where they have all these cultural displays together. In fact, I came from South Carolina. North Carolina is a place that has a lot of cultures, togetherness, where they celebrate cultures from around the world. So, and I think it's a great thing. So that's what is missing. I don't see much of it here. There are different people have different culture, their own need, but there is no place where we invite people genuinely to express themselves on a regular basis. Now, one place that does that is Disney very well, but they control the narrative at that point. And if you look well, all those stories come around the world and they do well. So this is something we have, that community here in Central Florida. We can do it for ourselves on a regular basis. So that's what's missing, and we can see it right next door at Disney being, done very well. So that's what we
Great.
need to work on, I think.
Well, Yves, I really appreciate your positive spirit and the inspiration that you have given to us. So thank you for being part of Central Florida. Thank you for being part of Diverse Orange today.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching this edition of Diverse Orange.
Thank you so much. It was nice talking to you.